then that's too where I feel like you should be friends first anyway with your
Yeah.
significant other. I don't think it should be you rush into things. I found like friendships like that matters such a big deal
Oh
before
yeah.
going into anything more. So that's pretty deep.
Yeah. I like how you said like love is cool, but it has to be respect because it's like, do you love me though? You know what I'm saying? Love don't pay the
Mm.
bills. When Anthony Hamilton saying we don't gotta have any money, we can live off love alone. I don't sing that part because what you mean, Anthony? Where's we living, Anthony? What are we not
Love is
eating,
a
Anthony?
beautiful thing. However, people throw that word around too much.
Yes.
And it's like, what is your definition? I think I want to know not just, the fluff. What does that look like for real?
Yeah, I feel like people only love or demonstrate love when they feel as though what you're doing is in alignment with what they want. This can be from family to relationship.
Conditional. That's conditional.
Conditional, from family to relationship. The minute that you have, especially as a woman, a Black woman, a young Black girl, whatever, the minute that you have something outside of what is the norm, or you have a desire, or you speak up, I feel like it then shifts.
Mm.
And you realize like this person may not love you or respect you, or maybe you do love me, but you love me selfishly. Like you don't love me, you love the idea of me, right? Because
Yeah.
me is the sporadicness, me is the this, is the that, is the outspoken, that's me. Just like you
Right.
may be this and this. I love you, but do you respect me though? That comes across the board, and I feel like people only realize that love is conditional once they realize that you're not going to do what they want you to do. Like babies love you unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Babies love your dirty side. They love you down. Okay. They love unconditionally. Pets, I'm not sure, but people say love you unconditionally. That's what the folks is saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when it comes to relationship, when it comes to that familial, when it comes to that interpersonal, because even ourselves, like how do we love ourselves?
True.
Do we love and respect ourselves? When you're solo out here, how are you loving yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you good?
Yeah.
And that comes with how you allow people to treat you.
I mean, that's it.
That's just me, that. So does that mean, I guess the question that comes to mind is, does that mean that as a society in 2023, almost 2024, because it's tomorrow basically, does that mean that we're still placing women's value on whether or not they can obtain somebody else's last name?
Unfortunately, in the society we live in, that is a lot that's out here. And I know, so say they are with someone. And I've had
Mm-hmm.
different conversations throughout my life with different women at different times. And some of them would have not made the same choice to
Yeah.
be in their situations, that are stamped approved by whomever is making the rules, or say societal, whatever. This is what makes you whole, and this is and this. Some are just not, they would do something different. And
Yeah.
so that's pretty deep to me that, the values being placed and you're thinking this is a picture perfect situation, and it really isn't. It looks nice when they do a lot of the photos or just being seen in society. You're thinking like, oh, they hit the jackpot and this is what it is, or, you have children. And I think about like some people just choose not to have either. It's like, what is the problem? But for some reason, women are judged whether they have a mate or whether they have children. Because then once you have a mate, the next question it is,
When y'all
well,
having
what
kids.
about what you're having? Right. It's never enough, is what that would make anybody who is like, you're not going to judge me, that would have them to say, like, stay out of my business.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that I rebel against whatever standards y'all said is so. Okay, yeah, we about to defy all of that. So this is what's going to
Listen,
happen, right?
when I say
We ain't doing
sleepwalking
none of
all
that.
over what you want, I don't hear it because it's very much like people wanting you to put on, and the best analogy I have for it, it's like they want you to put on a leash so that they can continue to control how far you go. And I know that may sound drastic to some, but when you really think about the degree to which Black women specifically, because that is what I am, our bodies are policed, our futures are just dictated, and just everything has to be, you have to do it this way and this way and this way and this way. And it's like, so the conversation for Black girls are, y'all need to get married, y'all need to have kids. The conversation for Black men is, sow your oats, don't love these hoes, do what you do, like nobody's telling y'all to be providers, teachers, none of that. Everybody telling y'all to be dogs, and we supposed to just be here's the things, dogs eat cats. You're not finna eat me alive, baby.
Ooh.
It ain't finna happen. I'll turn to the pound, put everybody down. Okay, it's not happening. I'm not for it. I'm not for it. It's not chill. Like it really isn't. And I think that's where the respect comes in. All of that, what's been taught, just needs to be unlearned. It needs to be not all of it, because there are some things that we can keep, right? But majority of it needs to be unlearned.
Yeah.
It does. It just does. And it started with believing that women aren't allowed to be single and happy. Because when you think about it, if it goes from mom and dad's house You go to college for a year, and in that college year, they expect you to find a mate. You've been connected to somebody all your life. You have no idea who you are, what you like,
Wow.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Because even if, like, say, college years, you possibly have roommates. So it's not even you living by yourself. I mean, I know that's supposed to be the discovery period. That's kind of what it's been conditioned as. Oh, you go to college, you discover yourself or discover this and this. That's that opportunity to do that. But then after that, say you are supposed to have this mate and then, have this career with them. Y'all build together, then you get married, you have children. That goes back to what you said, the goofy comment about that's selfish, like not want to have, children. Okay. Like even in having a mate, if you decide we don't want children yet for a while because we want to enjoy each other, I think that's awesome. Whatever. But
And
if you
y'all
also
really,
do leave school and you decide I want to be solo for a while, like that's not selfish at all. That's what I choose to do.
and how is it impacting you is my
With
question.
my life. Exactly. Because
How is
if,
that bothering you?
I'm just saying, if you are taking care of yourself, you shouldn't even have an opinion on what I'm doing.
You feel me? Like my mother said, as long as I ain't swinging from a pole, it shouldn't really matter. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
It really shouldn't. And it's only women I hear this kind. And a lot of men, but well, we're under pressures too. I'm not saying y'all not, respectfully. Not at all. Not the case. But when you really get down to the nitty gritty of it all, the conversation for us is not about jobs or businesses or none of that. None of the potential that we have. It's about what that uterus doing and why is your ring finger bare? Which
that's
sucks.
real.
It sucks entirely. Like, do you know how many people don't know their children, their daughters outside of being mothers and wives? Like, what do you mean? Like, there was this woman, and again, that dang on TikTok, there was this woman who realized she was allergic to something and she had never known she was allergic to it. She always just thought it was like, I guess something else or whatever, but she was allergic to this particular thing. She never knew she was allergic to this particular thing because she never been around it. Come to find out, when she got married or she met her husband, college years, whatever, her parents, of course, met him. He asked for their hand in marriage. The husband and the parents communicated all of her allergies, her this and her. How do you not know you allergic to something? And the only way you find out is because your husband's out of town that week and you go out with the girls and you eat it and you have an allergic reaction.
Okay,
That is
wait a minute. Wait a
terrifying.
minute. The young lady did not know about her own allergies.
She didn't know about her allergies. She didn't,
Nisaa.
like, it was a food. It's like one of those exotic-y foods you don't eat. You know what I'm saying? So she goes out with her friends.
But your parents would tell you, right?
They communicated it with her husband though, because he's her caretaker.
Oh my gosh. And she was capable. She had
Graduated college, everything.
and
All
she
of it.
never knew
I
herself.
had no idea. She's like, yes, let me tell you guys how I found out that I was allergic to something. And she went on to tell the story. And I said, that's terrifying.
That's weird. I mean, then her parents are, at fault as well.
But you're that far under the thumb. Like, I don't wish that for anybody at all. Like, it's bad enough we have the world telling us what our hair should be like, our clothes, our this, our that, the way we should talk, femininity, but we don't even get an escape when we get with somebody who's supposed to be our life mate either. Like, so when do we get an escape? And then when you do become parents, they tell you, well, you're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. So it's like, where's the escape, bro? I could die tomorrow. You tell me, that casket don't match your skin tone. At this point, you know what? Leave me alone. Leave me alone in a real way. Because I don't have nothing else for you people.
That part. Yeah. That's wow.
So it is. So let me ask you, and we've kind of delved into this a little bit. We dived a little deep. What are the benefits, do you think, of being solo? Like being by yourself, what do you think are those benefits? Because the world likes to act like there aren't any.
I feel like when we say create your own reality, that's what it is. And it's cool having partners, that respect you. Like I said, okay, respect and love you. That's how I feel. But it really is where if this is what I decide, it's not necessarily having to not consider other people, but in a way, this is what I choose to do. Like, I think that it's a lot of pleasing yourself.
Yeah.
Like things that you desire, this is what I choose versus you having to always consider someone else and say this person doesn't want to do certain things that you want to, are not making those choices that you desire for yourself. I just think that the overall picture of creating your own reality, like that is big. And you could go into like tit for tat. Like if I desire to do this, then I could do that by myself. It's being concerned about yourself though. Like you choosing to be like, I'm concerned about me and I only have to be focused on me. All that I create, make, whatever, I can benefit off of those things. I don't think that that's a wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
or be. I don't know, not to get into like the tit for tat, like what all it could be,
Yeah,
because
like
it
the
can be
itemized.
great. Otherwise, I just think it can be a beautiful thing.
I agree. I think it teaches you survival. And what I mean by that is like, I tell the kids all the time, the students, I'm like, caskets don't come with bunk beds. And I think it
Mhm.
teaches you survival, which is the first rule of self-preservation. The first law, I think it teaches you how to be, whether people come in your life, they go. I think it teaches you how to be able to um it gives you options. It allows you to have friendships in all walks of life. It allows you to really recognize those things that may trigger you or maybe you don't understand about yourself. It teaches you new capability. If you solo out here, you have plenty of time to go and figure out, do I like this? Do I like that? And I think that that's a beautiful thing about it is that you get to be whoever you desire to be. As long as you ain't out here hurting nobody, be whoever you want to be. And I think when that happens, it allows Black women and girls to be limitless. And that to me is beautiful. And that's not to say when you're married or with somebody or have children, you have limits on you. But when you get the opportunity to really learn yourself and spend some time with you, I think it
Mm.
teaches you to be limitless. I think it is a beautiful lesson on resilience. And it teaches you that you don't have to accept just anything because it invites other people who love you well into your life. And
I
it's like,
love that.
oh, like people can love me like this. They love and respect me like this. So I get to continue and I should continue to love and respect me like this.
No, I love all that you broke. It's like you took it a step further for me because it really is. And that is creating your own reality and what that looks like. And it looks like all of those things that you just said. That's truly it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is.
I think it can be beautiful that way and the other. And I think for me, I don't want to knock if somebody wants the other. I
Right.
think that's fine. And so, but I'm like, I don't want to knock too if somebody wants to be single. I think that you can do either and it be fine. And I'm talking about being solo, like, and even I mean, I don't know. I guess single, man, who came up with single? Like, why does it have to be this?
The government. Let's be,
When they
the
say
government,
single
they said
married,
we're gonna tax y'all.
you
How
know,
is we taxing y'all?
but it makes me want to look up the word single. What is that? Because it seems like it's a stigma. That word within itself, like what is really good? It has so many negative type vibes to it. And that's just a real thing. Maybe I'm feeling it because just in hearing the word, like I've heard it like so much. And the
Mhm.
different things that kind of go along with it, it's never positive thing.
Mm-mm, not at all. And I looked up the word because you know
Oh,
me.
okay,
So
right. I know.
as an adjective, single means only one, not one of several. Two, unmarried or not involved in a stable sexual relationship. It sounds like the patriarchy is in the room with us today. Wow.
I ain't even think. See, and it just came like, look the word up. Like,
But
what
the
is it?
fact that it says unmarried or not involved in a stable sexual, it sounds like the patriarchy is in the room with
So you're
us
in a just
today.
because you're married, that means you're in a stable sexual situation. Like, I'm just like, ask some who are married, ask please, and see how that is the cream of the crop. Like, that's supposed to be what makes it this stable situation. That is
That's
so part of the
the fact that it
patriarchy.
says sexual relationship is killer
Right.
for me.
Why is that even really?
Because the patriarchy is in the room. That goes back to how y'all see women.
That's it right there. Yeah. Even with that, there's a stigma.
Mm.
That's why I don't know what made me think about like to look that up, but it really is just like, no, it's something negative
It is.
if this is what it is. And my thing is, you don't want to offend or be like, you have to whatever. No, it's like either way you choose it, you are the creator of your own reality. You create your life as it relates to how you're living it. I do know, of course, the Most High is guiding you. I get that. I'm saying, but you have those choices that you make. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're choosing to go solo, that's fine. If you're choosing to be with someone and you all are partners, I think that's amazing as well. You can be whole either way, though.
That part.
I don't feel like it's a either or. But the way that reads, if you are single, you are not whole. Basically, you're not in no stable situation.
And you got to settle
Outside,
down. Like, oh, that's
settle
terrifying.
down in order
I
to.
just,
That's wow. Oh my.
words have meaning, y'all. Words
They
have meaning.
do. They
Okay.
do.
So let's get into a reminder for the masses. Miss Humphrey, what could you offer to young ladies who are under that familial or strangers? Because strangers will be out of pocket too. That microscope of like, oh, when are you getting married and when you have kids?
Don't take it to heart. Establish good boundaries, though. I love when Nisaa, and you've said this before, but about your niece, how you ask her questions. Like you ask her if she wants to give a hug or if she wants to be hugged. I think that that's where those boundaries come into play. And it's not just that we teach our young children that. I do feel like young women, as well as women, is also where just because they have you under this microscope, and you said basically, what would I offer them if they're under the microscope that you have to get married, have to have children? I feel that to speak their truth.
Yeah.
Be able to share or not share at all. If that's not something that I desire to talk about, I don't owe anyone anything. I don't owe them. And I think, of course, I've come to that space just with my life, period. Like I said, I'm private, so I don't really talk about a lot of different things in that way. I don't owe y'all nothing. And I will shut it down, keep it pushing
That part.
before you gonna put me in a corner. Like we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't owe you. And I know can be a little bit of a challenge with younger women sometimes too, because I've been there, where I felt like I had to share or had to answer to whatever. And I just think that for them, like I said, speak your truth, have your boundaries up, and be willing to live the life that you choose to live, no matter who's watching.
I like that. That's beautiful and so respectful.
Because come with it. Come with it.
I can't because it's really not appropriate at all. My response is off the wall. Like I was asked that recently, and I gave the answer.
You're gonna have to tell me later.
I gave the answer, and I was looked at, and I said, "Well, since y'all want to be in the business, I'm gonna give you all the business, every raw detail." But when people ask you that, young ladies, you could say no, thank you. You could say I'm a child of God. I'm God's child, therefore I should not have a child yet. You could say my ovaries are not on the table for discussion. Oh, when did you become my OBG? Oh, all right. You can tell them when their clock stops ticking. It really doesn't matter. You can tell them that you're still a child yourself, or you could just simply tell them that you're not answering those questions. Whatever you do what you want to do. Not because some boy is blowing smoke in your ear, not because your mom and your daddy may have been together since Jesus wept, dried his eyes, and cried again, and they think that's what you should do. Not because all your homegirls is getting married, or because the latest Instagram post says this is what you're supposed to do. It because you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, when you are alone and it's just you in a room and you sitting back looking over your life, or you're pulling out your journal, whatever it is, you're going to have to be okay with the choices that you make.
Period.
And let no one shame you for it. All right? Oh God, there's this post I saw on Instagram. I loved it. It says, stop asking people who are blind to proofread your vision. I love that. What am I asking you for? You still read with your finger under the word? Let me stop. Let me get out of the hooked on phonics section over here. Where's the scholars at? All right, cool. And find like-minded people. There are people out here there are a lot of solo travel groups, if that's what you want to feel safe to do. There are a lot of people out here who are discovering or rediscovering that they don't have to fit into the box. They don't have to put on that leash that the patriarchy has handed them and their grandmothers and their great-grandmothers. Girl, please. You ain't gotta do that.
Nope.
Not at all. I feel like Whitney Houston when she was reading a letter from, was it Wesley Snipes in Waiting Till Exhale?
Oh,
she just felt like everything was all better
Angela
now.
Bassett.
It is.
Yeah.
Whitney was my favorite in that movie, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
It just
Goodbye,
came on
Keith.
recently.
Yes, goodbye, Keith. He's a good man, Savannah. Yeah, absolutely. And ladies, my last thing, this is not to discourage y'all. There are beautiful men out there. There are beautiful men out there who will love you down. All right. There are beautiful men who will take care of you mentally, emotionally, physically, all that good stuff. There are beautiful men who will provide. However, you are not to settle. You are not to settle. You are not to settle. You too fly for that. You too godlike for that. All right. So y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. We hope that everybody had a wonderful family day. And I don't know if y'all know, but according to the internet, leftovers only last 3 days. So just go on and, do what you do with that information. Miss Humphrey, you got anything for the people?
Keep shining.
All right. We'll see you next time on the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. Peace.